Happy day, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Getting all the buttons here. It's another Wednesday. Yay for Wednesdays. Yay for Wednesdays. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. We're going live. I'm Valerie Shepard. It is another Wednesday Hump Day Happy Chat. Yabba dabba do. It's a bright, sunny Wednesday here where I am, and I am thrilled to be here. Thrilled to be here. I think that's a good place to start. Thrilled to be here. Thrilled to share a few minutes with you and talk about happiness and joy and peace and creating the kind of life that you love to live. I am the founder and CEO of the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And we define self-mastery as mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life sends your way. And we all know life sends lots of different things to our way, and being able to navigate through those and hold your highest sense of self and manage the dynamics of each of those situations is where the special mojo lies. It's where life takes on a dynamic that makes it worth living. And that whether all of that stuff is beautiful, wonderful, I can't wait, or it's just also some of the things where you're like, when is this going to be over? That it's important to be in a state of peace, love, joy, and freedom, like really connected to that essential nature that each of us is, being connected to that on the inside. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So that's what we do here at the Hartley Center, help you go deeper into creating self-awareness. Who are you being when you think you're being you? Self-acceptance. Who I am is all right. Who I am is perfect. And how do I even go deeper into the perfection of that? And self-love. Yay. I love myself despite everything that I might have done or be doing, that I even look at and go, should I be doing this? Was that a good decision? Did I handle that well? Like self-mastery means even when you say I might not have handled that well, you know what to do to swim through and get to the better place. So today's topic I wrote down, what makes you so special? What makes you so special? Good morning. Thank you for joining. Yay. What makes you so special is the question. And this came to me because yesterday you might have seen that I posted a picture from an event I was at, and it was called the Dynamic Women of UCI Awards. And it was the sixth annual, awesome. Shout out to Tamara Austin, who is the director of the Women's Hub here and who created this thing and is really a champion for the magnificence of the feminine principle and women and all those who identify as such. So this is the sixth annual celebration and recognition of the strength, the wisdom, the talent, the visionary heart, compassion, persevering grace of the women who serve UCI, the UCI community, so staff, faculty, administration, and students, and who by extension of serving that community through the ripple effect that that community creates. I think it's like the largest employer in Orange County, California, the world. How we serve the world. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Dynamic Women of UCI. And what I love about this, okay, I love the word dynamic. A person, a dynamic person has a positive attitude and is full of energy and new ideas, according to dictionary.com. Energetic, effective, spirited, beautiful adjectives. But as a noun, dynamism is a force to be reckoned with, a force to be reckoned with. And one of the things that I've loved about this ceremony is that Tammy asks each person who takes the stage to speak or to give out the awards as a presenter, say what makes them so dynamic. Why are you a dynamic person? Why are you a dynamic woman? What makes you so dynamic? And it's awesome. Why? Because in each woman declaring why she is dynamic, they might say beautiful things. They might have some real, like I heard some things yesterday. I was like, wow, that was powerful. Regardless of what they say, the instruction to say something specific to me. How am I dynamic? What makes me so special as a dynamic woman? Gives them an opportunity to promote themselves, to congratulate themselves, to shamelessly stand in their identification of and with the magnificence that they bring every day. And I am thrilled, honored, and proud, especially as I see the women who've come after me to win these awards. I'm really quite touched to have been a 2016 recipient of the Spotlight Award. And reading the nomination, like I didn't even understand. Like I was grateful to get the award. And then reading the nomination that was written about me was really, I mean, it's even bringing up emotion now. It was amazing. It was amazing to see myself through this other's eyes. And what ended up happening, and I encourage all of you to periodically just ask people to give you some expression of what your contribution has been to their lives. It's really a nice thing to touch in on, and that we often see ourselves as not doing enough, and that we can always do more and we can always do better. We're pushing ourselves and we're driving and we're striving and we're trying hard to get to that place out there in the distance. And it's really also about knowing where we are, like knowing where we are. And that's hallowed ground. That is hallowed ground. And so what I loved about this, what I love about the Dynamic Women of UCI Awards is all the magnificent women who get spotlighted for what they do and how they contribute to people around them. It's amazing. And this one little request that Tammy makes of everyone, to me, is a part of something really imperative for every leader and for every individual, like really imperative. Phone's ringing. Whoops, phone's ringing. Momentary mistake there. So what I'm saying is this one request really gets people into the space of promoting themselves. How do we promote ourselves? We're so good at promoting others, right? We tend to do a lot to promote others. We tend to do a lot of where we should be versus where we really are. And a lot of people have a hard time feeling comfortable and acceptable, like comfortable and acceptable, claiming and owning their greatness. It's really unfortunate that so many people walk through life afraid to let their light shine, certainly afraid to say themselves what their light is. And I see this all the time in my students. They so diminish themselves in the name of being humble. And the fear, like when I talk to them about it, it feels like intense fear about being labeled egotistical or narcissistic or self-aggrandizing. They don't have ability to claim themselves, own themselves, or showcase themselves. And I know it's not serving them. It's not serving any of us. And it's conditioned. It's a conditioned pattern. False humility doesn't serve anyone, and it's no good. It's kind of toxic energy. So the question is this you? What makes you so special is something you definitely should know. And at certain times, your happiness might depend on you being able to actually stand in it, own it, claim it, and help somebody else see it, help somebody else feel it, help somebody else stand in it with you and champion you for the greatness, the specialness, the magnificence that you are. I can't remember exactly what I said about what makes me a dynamic woman. I have to go back and see if in my acceptance speech, or if I even gave an acceptance speech, if I said what I said. I know what it is today. Data suggests, here's something important, data suggests that it's especially true of and difficult for women. Women often get labeled self-aggrandizing far more often than their male peers, especially in the workplace. And there's a whole bunch of data on that. But the important thing here is it's important in the happiness and self-mastery game. Good morning, thanks for joining me. In the happiness and self-mastery equation, to be able to champion yourself, to not wait for someone else to be calling out what's magnificent about you. First of all, they just might not. And second of all, they might get it wrong. Those might not be the words that need to be said at this particular moment or that particular moment. So what I do with my students to help them in this whole, how do I champion myself? How am I the master of what's so special about me? I do an exercise in my classes and at my retreats. And I want to shout out to Robert McPhee, who taught me this exercise, gave it to me on a silver platter, said, use this. He actually came and spoke in my class a couple times and then moved away. And so I asked for permission to keep doing the exercises because the students get so much out of it and I get so much out of helping them through it. So best-selling author of a book called Excellent Decisions, just a magical, awesome man, Robert McPhee. So shout out, Robert, miss you. So this exercise starts with students pairing up and they pay each other compliments. And once you receive a compliment, you have to say, and only say this: how astute of you to notice. I'm also good at blank. And the students are mortified. First of all, I don't get to say thank you to the compliment. No, you say, how astute of you to notice. I'm also good at, and actually I think Robert says, I'm also exceptional at blank. And we debrief it. They do that for several rounds and then we debrief it. And what I hear from the students who get the most out of it is, wow, it teaches them how to own themselves. It teaches them how to claim who they are. It also teaches them how to have a conversation in an interview or when they're in the last stages of a grant competition and they need to go up and wax poetic about themselves for a grant. It also teaches my non-student clients how to do better at supporting themselves in my executive clients, especially in evaluations from people who are evaluating their performance. So in performance evaluations. So being able to, what Dr. Sean Duperrin calls shameless self-promotion, to be able to stand in your power, to own it, not necessarily wield it. Look at me. You should love this about me too. It's not about that. It's not about them loving it about you. It's about you knowing that that is something that makes you special. That is something that you bring to the table. That is something that people might not be able to get quite the same way from somebody other than you. Another exercise that I do with my retreatants especially is write a love letter to yourself. And I've had several people tell me after doing that exercise that it was the most difficult thing they had ever done in their equation of personal growth and development and understanding who they are and what they bring to the table. Mothers often tell me this, that they spend so much time championing and lifting up those around them that they really have let go of the responsibility that they have for doing that for themselves. So this question, what makes me so special, is a very deep, full of self-love opportunity question. Not about making everybody else think you're special, but about you knowing the things that you bring to the table and being willing to stand up and own them and claim them. It's imperative to have a happy, whole, fulfilling life, to be in the self-mastery dance with happiness, peace, compassion, purpose, inner joy, that you are comfortable talking about yourself in positive ways. We're so good at like self-effacing, diminishing the self. Women especially, women, please hear me. Diminishing the self. It's old, it's tired, right? Get comfortable talking about yourself in positive ways. Get comfortable being your own champion. Learn how to shamelessly self-promote. For example, you heard me earlier put myself in the body of the women who just won the Dynamic Women of UCI Awards by saying, I am a 2016 recipient of the Spotlight Award. That is a form of owning and claiming that which has already been given to me. And I didn't do anything. I was nominated and I was a recipient, and that was beautiful. And so this whole idea, one other thing that I loved about the awards is that Tammy and the awards committee went on a mission to get people to self-nominate. Talk about that. Like, how many times have you looked at an award and felt uncomfortable, like asking someone to nominate you? What about nominating yourself? What about nominating yourself for Mom of the Year? Maybe even anointing yourself in your own way. I am Mom of the Year in my family. Like, why is it so hard for us to feel that this form of self-love is acceptable? And here's the thing, you can make it acceptable for you. You don't have to worry about and wait until the entire world deems it appropriate. You could just say, you know what? I feel like what I've done, what I've contributed is worthy of this award and recognition, and I'm going to celebrate myself by submitting a nomination. Beautiful way to be your own champion. A beautiful way to honestly and shamelessly self-promote. What I'm finding in my own experience with my clients and my students, what I'm also seeing in the literature, that this is a form of building self-confidence, expanding self-esteem in healthy ways, creating a sense of empowerment, that I don't have to wait for others to see me. I need to start by seeing myself. I need to start by seeing myself. So, shouting out again to you, Tamara Austin, what makes me a dynamic woman? So I'm a dynamic woman because I stand in the grace, the beauty, the magnificence, the unconditional love that I am, no matter what. And I remember to bring that forth, even when what I'm doing isn't necessarily the highest and the best form of me. I am committed to being that essential nature of me, no matter what. That's my answer today, this moment. Tomorrow it might be different. So remember, you're special. I'm special. Every single one of us has a special nature about us. We're all special in our unique ways. Most importantly, and more importantly than those uniqueness things, we're all one. We're all one in a very powerful way. We are all image and likeness. We are all fragments of the divine principle of unconditional love. We are all one in the essential nature of being a spiritual human person, having a human experience and integrating the spiritual dynamic, the higher form, the dancing with our soul light style into every moment. So be willing to own yourself, claim yourself, And when necessary, let other people know about the beauty and the magnificence and the special nature that you are. Many blessings. Thank you for joining me. This is Valerie Shepard signing off from today's Hump Day Happy Chat. Have a fabulous Wednesday and a great rest of the week. Bye now. I love all the buttons I have to push to sign on and sign off. See ya next time.